right, it's another day, another DIY project. I did the pantry last. I'm now in the living room. As you can see, the living room is empty. There's nothing in there. There's usually a couch there, but we sold the couch. We sold it because we have a new couch coming. And the new couch we bought probably about 3 weeks ago, but we had to wait for it to be delivered. It gets delivered, I think, on Wednesday. So I know for a fact Sherelle likes to have like things completely done. She doesn't like doing things in pieces. I'm a pieces kind of guy. I'll add things little by little. She kind of likes things done. So I know that when the couch comes in a couple days, she's going to be looking at the living room to figure out what type of style or vibe she wants and how she could upgrade it. And as y'all all know, my mission now, or both of our missions actually, is to leave the cookie cutter builder stuff behind and slowly upgrade and customize the house to our needs for the first time ever. This is our third house, and we usually just always, honestly, there's always life events happening from the kids or whatever it is. We just never have the opportunity to kind of like make the space ours. And when we built this house, we knew we were going to do things in the future. So we just got the necessities we needed. But now this looks good. Only thing is, sorry for the ladder in the way. Only thing is, everyone has it in here. So I did a fireplace before upstairs in the master sitting room. You guys could see the video for that. It's up on our channel right now. They say from watching videos, that's literally just trim pretty much, and it might come off of one solid piece. So I'll see. If it comes on one solid piece, I'll put it to the side and see if anybody wants it on Facebook Marketplace. I never used the fireplace, to be quite honest with you. I probably never ever will use the fireplace. When we sell the house 30 years from now, it'll be a brand new fireplace pretty much, never been used. But I'm gonna get a larger TV. That's 70 inches, we get 75. Bring it down a little bit. I actually already have a new mantle. The mantle actually matches the floor very well. This was actually supposed to go in our master bedroom when I did the fireplace up there, but never used it. So my plan is to extend this out a little bit, shiplap it. I don't know. I think I might try to do like a V pattern with the shiplap. Then possibly floating shelves underneath, maybe cabinets underneath the windows, maybe shelving on the side of it so she could put some of these stuff somewhere else, like in the side. Nothing too crazy. Some lights, obviously, because there's lights behind the TV now, but get some lights going and figure it out. I am still making this up as I go, but general plan. That line for the mantle, the fireplace will end there, shelving would end there. So right now what I'm gonna do is take this off. I already went and got the 2x4s to frame this out, and the cabinet that's gonna go under there, and the 2x3s that's the cabinet's gonna sit on top of. I tried to get the plywood. I was at Lowe's, but the saw was out of order, and I don't have a pickup truck, so I can't get the full sheets. I have to get it cut in half. And then once I get home, I can use the table saw to cut it to the size I need. But I just need to get 3 sheets of plywood and then the shiplap. Now, I was going to do the V, like a V pattern, but I'm already $300 in because those cabinets are $90 each. And then I still have to pay a gallon of paint, which is another $50. And I want to do it nice because this is the living room. So I want to go all out, but don't go too crazy. But right now we will pop this bad boy off the wall. I'm already sweating because I've been loading stuff in and out the car. But it looks like it's gonna come off in one piece. It took a little bit of scoring around with this bad boy right here. If you don't have one of these, I don't know what it's called, multi-tool, painter's tool, 5-in-1, I don't know what it's called. But if you go to a paint department in any place, you're gonna see them. Get yourself a couple of these because you could use this for a lot of things and it'll make your life easier. But I just used the edge, scored, wow, I can't even say the word. Score around the, around to kind of cut the caulk adhesive and then go from there. But I got that side off. I'm gonna work on this side. I'm probably gonna have to call Sherelle downstairs to hold it up because it's not heavy, but I don't want it to tip over. I don't want my toesies to take me out the game, but let's do this. I was able to take the mantle out last night. And that's all I really did. Sherelle held it up. I think I recorded it. We'll see in editing, but I think I might have stood in front of it. If not, you probably didn't see that, and we're fast forwarding today. I have this cabinet here, just kind of give me a general idea. I have one for each side. This is where my plan is taking me now. I'm going to, these are not attached. These are just standing here just to get a better idea. Because right now I've been drawing and marking things off on the wall. And as you can see, I thought the fireplace was going to end here. It's not. It's going to end here. The TV that I'm going to get is about 65.5 inches. So I just have to make sure the opening is at least, I want to give it at least 67, 68 inches, give or take, you know. But what I did so far is I did attach this board and I marked this center line where the wall is. And then that's going to be where I attach some of my things to. I was going to build out this fireplace a lot further to here. Now, I'll just let you know. Depending on your materials, going to depend on how far away and also the type of fireplace you have. I have a wood burning fireplace, it's gas. So there is a certain amount of inches that any combustible material needs to be. And it depends on how far and how much it comes out. So I had wood around the fireplace before, but it didn't come out very far. So the normal slate that's already around it, this slate piece is a stone, and it was enough of a buffer. Plus it only came out maybe about, I think like 2 inches or an inch and a half. Now, this is the minimum requirements from a distance wise. This up top, I think is like 14 inches alone. And the bottom is like 7 or 8, give or take, 7. And so we should be fine. Now, if I decided to come out further, then I'll have to space this up even further away just because, you know, it's open flame. Now, I will never use the fireplace, I can tell you that right now, but if I had to sell the house just to make life easy for the, you know, the inspector to come through and make sure everything is all right. But definitely check your own codes to find out what you should be doing. I think I got my measurements down, and what I'm going to do is have a side shelves that come out just a little bit, maybe 2 more inches. And then I'm gonna come out, and there's gonna be a full shelf here. I do have to get the plywood still, but my plan is to frame everything up, then run to the store later to get the plywood. And I'm trying to decide how I want the shiplap to go. I think I was gonna go diagonal, V, but now I think I might just go straight across. Might go V, it depends. Depends, I think it all, yeah, it depends. Also, another reason why I decided, this is as far I was gonna go. I'm just gonna use this 2x4 out to kind of see how far I want it to go. Another reason I'm only gonna go this far out is because the room is not that large, so I didn't want anything that's too overpowering in here. It's gonna already have a big TV in here and lights, so I didn't want it to get too crazy, but I will frame this up, trial and error. I gotta measure this. If this is 68 inches, I'm good. I think it's 68 inches. And we should be all right. And then these shelves are gonna be ideally about 9 inches out. After I cut off the edges with the 3/4 inch plywood, that'll make inside will be about 8 inches, 8 1/4. Well, there'll also be plywood on the inside, so it'll be about 8 inches on each side. Now, there is a slight variation, about a 1/2 inch difference between the space between the windows. I'm still gonna adjust for that. What I'm gonna do is one side is gonna be a 1/2 inch larger. No one's gonna really tell the difference. The biggest thing to me is that I went centered with the actual fire place in the center of between the two windows itself. And that's this mark I found here. And that's where I'm building everything off of. Yeah. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to have those shelves floating or not. I might be able to pull them off floating. If it is floating, then I could keep the flooring there and I don't have to cut anything back. And then I could put lights at the bottom of it. If I can't do floating, then I'll just have to build a base and cut out back the bottom. But we'll cross that bridge later. All right, this is the current status. Pretty much what I did was I started a frame for the bottom. I left a gap though, because I'm gonna use that for trim. Like I said, you definitely wanna have your parts that pop out a little further away from the fireplace, especially if you have a gas one. So just extend it out a little bit more, just, you know, safe side. And then I'll add another 66-inch board across, so that I can have something to latch my mantle to when I put it. I think the mantle's gonna go about right here. Yeah, that's why I drew my line. There you go. And I'll mount the mantle across there, but it just gives me a little easier of a spot. So it'll pretty much be like this. It'll be like this, where it sits out further, like that. So it has something to attach to. As y'all just seen, I definitely had to use a mallet and a crowbar to get this in here. It is the correct size. It is 66 inches. All my cuts across are 66 inches. But wood warps, and there are bowls in the wood. So it is definitely good if you could have yourself a mallet to kind of help get things in place. And then once you screw things tight, they straighten back up. So as long as your measurements are right, you're gonna know that, especially 8-foot sections like this, the likeliness of it having some type of warp is pretty high. But yeah, you just kind of twist it back yourself, and then with long enough screws, it kind of stays tight. But this one, like I said before, is gonna sit out in front, because this is what I'm attaching the mantle to. So the mantle used to end up here, so I'm just dropping a few inches. I'll drop the TV down a few inches, and then we should be good. But let's keep this party going. So I went to Home Depot and Lowe's, and the saw cutting machine wasn't working for both of them, so I couldn't get the plywood, so I'm gonna have to hold off on that for now, because plywood sheets are too big to fit in the back of the trunk. So I'm gonna start with the shiplap for now, get the mantle up, well, at least dry fit it, because I just gotta make sure the mantle's in the right place. Then tonight, I'm gonna pick up the TV. This has to go up further, but I'm waiting for my laser level charge, so I can at least start this for now. So I'm gonna go up, mantle, and then we could at least get some progress going. And then whenever I'm able to get the plywood, I'll do that. All right, here's the current status. I got all the shiplap up. This is not actually attached, just here for a moment. This side piece is attached. But I have a hole here where I just drilled in 2 pieces. I cut the top off, drilled it in 2, so if I ever need to get back there, I can. I could just undrill it. TV's mounted, gonna be here. This, the window is level, but the actual the drywall wasn't level, so I did have to get a little creative. And what I did was I raised this up a little bit for the top shelf, and I'm just going to put a 1x3 cover in front of it, and I just have to knock off some of the shims. That's kind of ready to go. I got to get some some trim pieces for it, but at least I got that base in, so now I could start planning out how I'm going to get this side shelf going. It took a lot of figuring out how to get done because I wasn't expecting the window to be uneven, but you know, you improvise. I was able to do a quick math and figure out I could still do a trim piece and should be perfectly fine. I just took a jigsaw and cut out the shape I needed, but we're doing all right. I'll add a little caulk there, but yeah, ideally I'm gonna get another this shelf. I gotta take this off, but I'm gonna add another shelf. It should be about total width out the wall about 8 inches. So the inside, I just have to cut down some support brackets of 1x2s, and ideally we should be good to go. I guess I'll let y'all know where I am currently in the progress, because I have been recording with the GoPro, setting up, but getting angles. I think this whole area is a little weird, and it's also kind of dark in here. But this side is done. That side is almost done. I started adding the trim. I did this side already. This side is done. I have this guy here just as a tester to see. I'm going to run lights on this inside lip right here. As you can see, I notched out holes. I gotta caulk all this, but I notched out holes up all these shelves so that when I run my lights, I can actually run the lights up, down, and it's fine. I made a last minute audible control asked if we could figure it out, because now this curtain is gonna be an issue. So I'm putting a board across, and the curtain's gonna sit up top there underneath it. Still have to paint. I got a lot of caulking to do, a lot of nail holes to fill, so that's gonna take a long time. But I did finally put the trim piece in front of this one. I started putting wood filler in to kind of fill in the seams a little bit, so I'll do that later tonight. I'll have to put the rest of the trim on this, but I just started placing the trim because I got the wood. I had the wood for this actual shelf, but I messed up the cut, so I had to put this whole entire side on a hold for a while until I went and got more wood for it. It made me sick because that was a $20 piece of board that I messed up. But today I'm gonna finish this side of the shelf, and then ideally all the trim work and stuff will be done tonight. I won't have the shelves equal because we have some tall things that we want to put in, so this shelf is gonna be taller, so I don't know if it's gonna have the same amount. It might actually have maybe one shelf less. I have to put the trim in. I have to put this finishing on the side. I just wanted to kind of see what the molding was going to ideally look like. Obviously, you see the side is still missing the molding, but once you start putting the molding in, it starts looking good. I have to fill all that, and this thing came out perfect. Like, I am happy with how well I measured this out, because ideally that's gonna fit like perfectly there. And like this side's gonna be fit perfectly here, like good stuff. And then the TV mounted, I did buy a new TV, so I gotta get that new TV up today. And then just to kind of make sure it's the right height, then I'll take it back down, paint it all. This is gonna get painted black. These are gonna get painted white, but I have like actual cabinet paint for it, so it's more of a enamel that kind of sinks into the wood. So all that's gonna be white, all this will be black. Even this trim here is gonna be black. I'm gonna repaint this later. I'm not gonna do it now because this thing has a lot of nicks on it, just from when the vacuum runs over it. But yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. So far, I'm about, without the TV, because I spent like $600 for a TV. Just material-wise, paint, I already bought the paint. Hopefully I have enough of the, yeah, I should have enough paint, because I bought a gallon for this. I'm not gonna need a gallon, but I know I'm gonna need more than a quart, so it just was easier to get a gallon. I've got a gallon paint for that. I have a quart of paint for that, but I can always just grab an extra quart if I need it. I don't think I will, because I'm using a paintbrush for most of that, so that should be perfectly fine. And then, yeah, all the wood, I'm probably about $800 in. It could be cheaper, but what I did was, I don't have a table, I don't have a truck, so I couldn't get the big plywood pieces and actually cut the pieces myself, so I had to buy them in sections. Honestly, I probably would have been cheaper just paying the $79 to get the plywood delivered to the house. But so far, it's not too bad. What I like about it is I did modify it because I didn't come out as far as I was going to initially come out, mainly because this couch is actually a lot bigger than we thought it would be. But we'll get an opportunity. It's a very big couch. We could find some of these places to sit. That's the ottoman for the old couch. I gotta build a new ottoman. But yeah, reason we didn't buy an ottoman yet is because we want to find the perfect size, because this is a sleeper couch, so this middle section actually pulls out, so we want something that slides pretty easily. But yeah, this is looking really good. I like it. I'm actually really pleased with the countertop, because I had to cut that with a jigsaw and it came out really good. I'm pleased. What I did was I got a 16-inch piece of board, 6-inch wide piece of board, measured where that would be, cut it down to the size, cut the lines in, did a rip cut down the back, slid it in there, but I messed up on the side. So everything else is squared, good to go. I do have to take out the socket that's in there and put an extending piece to the box so I could bring out the socket a little bit further. But otherwise than that, we are golden. Have to adjust the cabinets, have some trim work to do, a lot of nail holes to fill, and a lot of caulk, and then a lot of time painting. So today's Friday. I've been doing a little each day. I was out of town for 2 days. So probably about maybe, I want to say maybe 20 to 24 hours in to this project combined. Not too shabby. I could have been done with this last night, but when I messed up that piece of wood, that kind of put this whole section on hold. So the gap between, I'm using a 1x3 to finish off the front, like I did over there. These are 1/4 inch. This is a 1/4 inch board. That's a 1/4 inch board. So I cut a piece of a 2x4s down to 1 inch each. That way I can just have something to attach this board to, and then I'll add the gap for me to be able to attach the front trim piece. Like I said on the other wall, the window was straight because I put my level on the window's straight, but the actual drywall around the window is not. So that's why I had to come up with this plan to kind of make my own lip, like my own little sill, because it wasn't gonna work any other way. So this is a 1x6, which is really a 1/4 inch by 5 1/4. So I have this going up the entire wall. Then I put the 1x2 right here to kind of fill in this gap. And then I have another board that goes across and finish off the shelving. Now you might not have to do this, but I had to because I had to get up on this little ledge here. But I just took the 1x6. I measured it from length to width where it needed to be, cut a 45-degree angle on one side. Then I just came back and just used a jigsaw to cut out a small section here so it can slide in. I'm gonna tack this bad boy on, and then I'll deal with this little section later, but did the same thing there. But yeah, we're good now. Okay, so what I just now did was I got a 1/4 inch sanded plywood, and I ripped them down. This is, I believe, 11 1/4 because it has to go against the 1x12. And then I did 17, a little lower than 17 inches because I needed to be able to slide it in there. Because my cabinet is 18 inches, then you gotta take away the 3/4 for this piece right here. So, yeah, I did this, pop this bad boy in here. And now it's gonna finish off the inside. I'm gonna glue them down. I did it especially on the inside of the cabinet because the inside of the cabinet is unfinished. Now, I still have to get another piece because I miscalculated my cuts. Well, I just miscalculated how much I need because I gotta still get a piece for this side. And I gotta do, and I'll use that same piece that I used to cut down pieces for the inside here. I'm not gonna do the back wall because the back wall is really fairly smooth. And so I'm just caulking it, make it look like it's fully enclosed. Plus it's all getting painted white anyway. Now, if I was keeping this like the wood color, then yeah, I would have painted it. And then I'm just gonna keep inside the cabinet. I might paint inside the cabinet, we'll see. I'll see how I feel. But yeah, I got them all cut, popped in. I thought I got all the wood I needed for the last time because I've been to Lowe's and Home Depot at least 6 times already. But one more run at least, and it's probably going to be worth it because I have like 5 things of caulk, but I might run out of caulk and wood filler. It's going to be a lot of caulking and wood filling. All right, let's do it. Quick pro tip, never use anything based off the wall. Like if you're using the wall as your straight edge, you're going to always be disappointed. So always use a level, and then worst case scenario, you could fill in whatever gaps from the curves in the wall with either caulk or wood filler. But usually it's not too bad unless it's like an older house and your walls are really warped. But for the most part, you definitely want to base everything off your own level and then go from there. All right, so the shelving is pretty straightforward. What I did was measured the width that I needed, and I cut a bunch of 1x2s in the back. and just honestly just staple them to the attach them to the wall. Then I used that to attach this here, and then after that I just went in and I started attaching these side pieces here. I have a lot of caulking to do, but it wasn't too bad. And honestly, the only reason this bottom piece is here is so I have another anchor point to glue, and also add brad nails too when I put the front fascia on. I know I didn't show a lot of shots of painting. Number one, I hate painting. And also, I feel like watching painting videos is boring, but you guys could beg to differ. I'm like on my third coat of stuff. So, this one is starting to look good. That's fully painted inside. I just got to paint the shelving. What I did was, I'm using regular semi-gloss paint for the wall and then using the enamel for the shelving around it. I still ran out of the enamel, so there's that. But these are almost done. The other door's getting done now. I have to get more paint tomorrow, but overall it's coming out pretty good. I just hate painting, so like I was hoping I could be done by now. It's just taking me a lot longer than I thought. But we're making it work. Overall, this is good. I got a whole new HomePod to come to give surround sound for this, because the new HomePod got Dolby Atmos. Wow. And we should be all right. I gotta do another coat on the wall down here, so that's what I'm doing now. I find it easier just to use a paintbrush, so that's what I've pretty much been doing this entire time. The Dolby lights are going strong. I have got my stuff mounted behind here. So I have my Direct TV, the Apple TV, and I'm gonna have a third HDMI cable lingering around just if we ever want to hook up the switch to down here for a family game night. But the couch is here. Sherelle's eager to start decorating, so I do want to get this done. I'm like a week over schedule, but I think it's coming out, and I think my exposure looks good. Okay, I think I got it. This is all with the GoPro. I usually use a G7X. I honestly don't know what's being recorded on this video, because I just was recording and working away. Because I read somebody said that I had too much talking the last video, and I felt like I needed to show more of the work. But then I don't know if I actually showed any of the work that was actually meaningful. I guess we're gonna figure that out in real time. I also just ordered the knobs off of eBay to match the rest of the knobs in the house. But so far I'm happy. This mantle came out good. I got this mantle off of Amazon. I'll drop the link if it's still available. It might not be available anymore, but I actually got this mantle for upstairs to tie in the master bedroom sitting room in the other video that you could see on my channel already, where I built the fireplace in the master bedroom sitting room, to tie in the flooring, because I did flooring upstairs in just the bathrooms. So I thought maybe I was trying to be like, you know, nice and like tie it all together. But I'm happy I saved it. Sherelle said to save it for another day. And I'm happy you did, because this mantle actually matches the floor pretty well. And it was the perfect size. And it was the 65 and a half inches I needed to match the 75-inch TV. So it's looking good. Now with the Gobi lights, I can actually set it up to where these sections are a different color than that. But I'm just gonna keep it the same and keep it on the timer. I have to move the Ring alarm to above the cabinets. I already have power up there, so that's fine. My router for downstairs is gonna go on that bottom shelf. I may do like what I did here and how I actually added an outlet. I may add one over here and over there. They're expensive though. They're like $49.99 each. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to do it or not. I got to see what Sherelle needs to plug in. Part I don't know is where we're going to put our Christmas tree now. Those are logistics I'll figure out later. I do need to build a new ottoman, but we'll do that in a later video. I don't like this exposure on the GoPro. I missed my G7X. I should have charged it and put a larger SD card in it, but we'll be alright. What do y'all think? Looking good so far? I don't know if I'm gonna show any more of doing anything. It's really just me painting now. Yeah, you probably just gonna see the finished product, and the finished product is probably gonna be right about now. And it is done officially. Sorry if you hear the noise of the dishwasher, but yeah, came out pretty good. That plant has got to get a pot coming. I also still have to paint the fireplace and put that trim back there, but that is happening in like the next hour or so. I think came out pretty good. What do you think? Got the lights off right now because they're on a timer. They come on at 7 p.m. I cut off every morning at 6 a.m. Yeah, I think it came out good. It's coming together with the living room. Got to mount that mirror. But slowly but surely, the space is coming together. Yeah, I like it. Got to find out what to do with my Gobi light though. Got to figure out where all that stuff going, but we're just kind of cleaning up now. But yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. I still have to come back in and do some touch-up paint from the regular wall. Luckily, I had bought paint for when I did the pantry, so I could just use the same paint. Yeah, because I got all these other stuff that I have to take off. Then I have to move my Ring motion sensor somewhere else, probably to that corner over there. But yeah, I think it came out really good. I left the inside of the cabinets the regular natural color. Also got to put the little rubber bumpers on back of the cabinet doors. But I'm really happy with it. I'm really honestly happy with how the trim came out, because I kind of just made that up on the fly. I had a general idea, but I'm really happy how it came out. This mantle worked out really well. We're still adding the stuff back for what she's gonna put for the decorations. Yeah. I can't give you guys dimensions because everyone's dimension is gonna be a little different. All I did was my walls, the space between the windows weren't even on each side of the fireplace. So if you don't have windows, it'll make life a little easier. If you do have windows, then yeah, you just have to kind of figure out how you want to make it work. So what I did was I went based off the center of the fireplace and went out from there. So I used the fireplace center. I measured the fireplace width and I went straight down the middle. And then I branched out from there and I seen, all right, how much from one side to each window. And then I kind of was like, all right, what's the middle ground? So like one side of the shelving is technically a 1/4 inch wider on the other side of the fireplace. So that side is a 1/4 inch wider than this side. You can't really tell because there's such a big gap between it and they're painted exactly the same. So you can't really tell the difference in them. I know the difference in them. And if you're putting things in as a storage wise, you realize, yeah, there is a slight difference here. But I went basically just out from there. And so like there is a little variation in the difference between where the shelving ends and the windows start. But like I said, it's only a 1/4 inch, so it's not too bad. And I measured out based on how wide the TV is. Then what I did was actually go off the width of the mantle and TV that I was going to place there. My mantle was already 65 inches. And I was like, let me go see what a 75-inch TV screen width is. And it matched the mantle. And I was like, all right, that's going to be how wide I'm going to make the fireplace inside the trim. Like I wanted from where the trim, I'll show you. I wanted it to end perfectly to where the trim came in. And then it was going to be the end of the fireplace. So the actual fireplace ends right where this black piece ends. And I did the same thing and it came out perfectly on both sides, and I could honestly slide it left and right if I needed to, but I made that center. And once I got that center, I built everything else out from there, and it worked out well because it ended up being where the shiplap cups that I made, once I got to the straight pieces, were all 66 inches. Everything I measured after that was for 66 inches. So the trim pieces up top, it made life a little easier. And then I just built around everything else, and it's good. I will recommend this. Somebody's gonna probably point out a video. I did not take up the floating floor around the cabinets I built for 2 reasons. Number one, I didn't feel like cutting it away. And so it's a risk that I know that I'm gonna take. But I also built the cabinets in a way to where they're kind of like floating a little bit. All the 2x4s that I use for the base are actually built, like nailed to the actual wall, like drilled to the wall, secured to the wall studs. And then they're secure to each other. So it does rest on the floor, but I'm looking at it more like it's just being a piece of furniture that's sitting there, like a bookshelf or something like that, that was actually just built and just put on top to rest there. I can still shift it, and I know I can because I was able to use, my sneaker and kind of like do a kicking motion, and I was able to shift the floor in a little bit. So I know the floor can shift if it needs to. But yeah, I would just recommend for your own house to do it properly so you don't come back and sue me later. Definitely cut around and pull back the flooring, kind of like what I did in the pantry if you watch that video, because I knew for a fact those cabinets are not going anywhere. And I knew that they're going to hold a lot of weight. Do that properly. There's not too much that's actually going to go in these cabinets. Honestly, they're more for decoration than anything else. Yeah, we're going to put some stuff in there like a few knickknacks, but it's more honestly for decoration than anything else. Fine. Now, price-wise, I went a little above my budget because I had bought a TV, which was on sale at Walmart for like $600. It's just a 75-inch video TV. Another TV mount, a full swivel instead of the flush mount that I had before, so that was another $70. But just material-wise, I think I spent about $800-ish, give or take. Some of that is from mistakes of my own, though. Like, I cut a piece of wood the wrong way, so I had to go buy a $20 board all over again. So that's my problem. Like, I did that myself. I also have some leftover material that I didn't use. So I have a bunch of 2x4s. I have like maybe 6 or 7 2x4s that I did not use because my original plan was to bring the wall further back. But to be honest with you, I'm probably not going to return it because it's like $40, $50-ish, give or take. Not even, because each was $3 something. So I'm just going to leave it because I know I'm going to need it for a project in the future anyway. So I don't know what that project is, but I'm just going to figure that out and get it when we get there. And that's really about it. Oh yeah, and I bought lights. The lights was another, and I bought the cheap ones from Goldie. They were like $15 each on sale, so I can't really say those were too bad. And then I can't comment on the decorations because a lot of those decorations are new. But yeah, I think it came out pretty good. I still have to put the toe kick down at the bottom, and we're good to go from there. But thank y'all for watching. Thank you for all the new subscribers. It's really cool to see all the subscribers I got off the last video. So if you are new to the channel, definitely think about subscribing and sticking around. I'm sorry in advance, like I am trying to figure out how my flow of these videos are gonna be. So I don't know what to include, what not to include just yet. Like I'm trying to figure that out, but I'll figure that out when I'm editing and recording more videos. But thanks for hitting this journey with me, and until next time, have a good one.